All right, thanks, Rob. This is a meeting of the Logan Township Board of Education work session. There will be no public input or discussion for this meeting. Everything will be at the regular meeting held after this one at 8 o'clock. So let's get started. Sarah, you're first.
Okay, thanks. The first thing on the item under the business office is contracting with advancing opportunities for student-assisted technology evaluations. Mrs. Haney had put this in the weekend memo and covered in detail what that was for. Does anybody have any additional questions on that? Okay, I'll take that as a no. The second item is just to authorize me to pay bills between now and the next regular board meeting in January, because there is a gap. The meeting will be at the end of the month, and so we don't want to go too long without paying our bills. And my last item is increasing our minimum hourly wage to $12 an hour effective January 1, which meets the 2021 minimum wage. Any questions?
Pretty simple.
Nope. Okay, we're moving into a new calendar year of 2021. I don't think there is anyone among us who will be crying when 2020 is over. So as we move into 2021, we need to, at this meeting, we will be setting up just for January's board meetings and establishing those two meetings. So we always have a reorg meeting, and that reorg meeting is required to be the first week of January. So we chose the Wednesday night, January 6th. So everybody, please mark your calendar. As everybody knows, it's usually a fast meeting, few agenda items other than major, just the reorganization requirements. So that will be January 6th. And then because that's the beginning of the month, we moved our regular meeting to further down towards the end of the meeting on January 27th. And that will be a work session at 7 o'clock and the regular session at 8 o'clock. So we're asking that to be approved tonight. That they are the only dates that we're asking to be approved tonight. The other meeting dates that we have listed are the work and regular sessions for the 2021 calendar year. And Sarah, if you would pull them up. We are not voting on this tonight. This is out of just giving you courtesy to check your calendars at home and to see if any of these are major conflicts. If you have other, appointments, requirements, duties that you have to do those nights, please text me or email me, and then we will adjust the calendar so that we can have these approved. These will be approved at the reorganization meeting on January 6th. So let me know if any of those dates don't work. I think that we have shown that we've become pretty we've been watchful of everybody's time, and through the past month since March, we've noticed that we can have a work session and a regular session back to back. And so I am asking, suggesting that all work sessions and regular sessions be held on the same night through the 2021 school calendar year. Okay, so that we don't have to have two separate night meetings.
Hey, Pat.
Yes, Kim.
I noticed that the April meeting is not the third Wednesday and the August meeting is not the third Wednesday. Okay. So is that
I can speak to the August meeting immediately, and that was changed because I usually like to move the August board meeting to as close to the beginning of the school year in case we have last minute hires, so that we can have that board approved. So that gives me a little bit of leeway instead of having it the third. Let me look at April and see why that might not have been. That is
break.
That is the third Wednesday. It just happens to be that it's the 7th, the 14th, and the 21st.
So April 14th is the second Wednesday of the month.
Yes.
So all the other ones are the third Wednesday.
I will double check that, but we usually have done, Kim, if you don't mind, just tell me what the date is in February.
So February is the 17th, which is
Yeah,
the
that's
third
the third.
Wednesday.
Yeah,
And March is the 17th, which is the third
yeah,
Wednesday.
you got it.
And then April is the 14th, which is the
Oh,
second.
it's down as the 14th?
Yes.
Oh, okay. That should be probably my mistake. I probably looked at the calendar not as closely as I'm looking at it right now, and just counted 1, 2, 3 down on the calendar and didn't see that the first Wednesday was the 31st. So you're right. That should be the 21st. So,
Okay. Thank you.
yeah, good. Lisa, you can change that to the 21st of April. Thanks for drawing that attention, Tim. Okay. So continuing on with the agenda. So personnel, I pretty much explained in detail in the memo in regards to the hiring of temporary and contracted personnel. And a good part of this is due to maternity leaves and staffing needs due to continued COVID and continued pandemic. Does anybody have any questions about anything that's on the agenda in regards to hiring of replacement teachers or any of the other hiring?
No.
Okay. And then I also referenced the request that a parent had of a 7th grade student who is moved out of Logan Township but is local to remain at Logan for the remainder of the school year. And the reason I'm requesting that is because of the pandemic. She is being successful in the remote learning environment in which she has established. She's attended all of the years in Logan, and I think that it would not be beneficial, and neither does the parent, to move to ask her to move to another remote or hybrid environment in the middle of a pandemic. So I'm asking you to approve that be due to the pandemic. Any questions on that?
No.
Thank you. Then we have a number of board policies and regulations that needed to be updated. All of those policies and regulations are reviewed and suggested by Strauss Esme, which is the company that we use to make sure that our policies are up to date with the latest statutes and code. And so they've been listed. They will be there for your review for second reading. Tonight is only the first reading. We have to go through 2 readings before they are adopted as our policy. No major changes. I've read over all of them. Sometimes some of the policies are just addressing and changing the word, change from pupils to students, and others are updating based on the a change in statute. So does anybody have any questions or clarifications about any board policies or regs that are listed on the board webpage for the first reading for tonight?
Any questions? Nope.
No.
Okay, then we
No.
move. Okay, thank you. I'll wait until I just give everybody wait time, right? Okay, so then what we have, since I knew that probably the work session was rather brief tonight, I thought I would take the opportunity to highlight the MJRs, which are the monthly joint reports that Bob Harrison so religiously and studiously provides us. And I have listed September's, October's, and November's. We've posted them on the board agenda page, as well as the board members only page, so you can review them. But I thought that I would draw your attention, and since this is open to the public and for the community, I want to just draw your attention to a couple. First of all, the extent to which Mr. Harrison's, our facility manager's report is each and every month, and sometimes always he spends a lot of time putting effort into it. But right now, during remote time, there's a lot of behind the scenes work that's going on in our district. when students are not there and a good number of staff members are not there. So I thought I'd like to draw your attention to some behind the scenes pictures. And I think pictures paint 1,000 words. So that's why I am just going to go through November's monthly report just to highlight certain pictures. And then you please, hopefully you'll spend some time on your own to go through September's and October's, which is posted in the same spot that this is posted. First of all, I just draw your attention to this photo. It just gives you a good snapshot of the types of Google Meets cabinet meetings that we have each and every week. This is how we operate. This is how we make decisions. I think looking at this picture shows you that, our cabinet is made up of our IT and our administrators and Bob Harrison himself. And this is how we operate. And we meet weekly on that. So I thought that was a good picture, a good screenshot of the way we operate. And then on the next page, I thought at the bottom of the next page is a great picture of the delivery of food that occurs every Wednesday in our district. And this is thanks to the oversight of Sarah Bell, our BA, who oversees food services with our NutriServe company, Kathy Conley, and a new food service director, Heather McCullough, is her name, Sarah? Heather McCullough, yes. Correct? She's relatively new. And I believe this might be this picture here is Bob Lesh, our SRO, who's been extremely helpful in helping carry out the meals of breakfast and lunch to any community member who comes and requests distribution of meals. And that you can see the lineup, and it's pretty organized, extremely organized. And we have served over 400 meals, 400 families worth of meals per week in the past months. So I thought that picture was worth it. The next page, if you have any questions, please stop me. The next page, and I put this on there for those board members who are not parents of students in our schools. You might have a student in the high school. You might have a student that goes to GCIT. You might not know the type of screening that we send home. So on the right-hand side is the Ruvna Health Screener that goes home every day to parents, sent home to parents and staff, asking them questions if they have any symptoms, if their student has any symptoms, their child does, or if the staff member does, and then questions regarding that. So that's our first line of defense in screening. So I thought you might want to look, just look at that and see what that looks like, which shows up on our phones. And then the next page is, I thought this was a good behind the scenes picture that you should see also. Even though our return to hybrid learning for our grades 3 to 5 and 1 and 2 was short-lived, this is how Mrs. Kelly has set up bathroom monitoring. So you can see an aide out in the hallway overseeing that one student at a time would go into the bathroom to make sure that there was no congregating in the bathroom to keep students 6 feet apart. You'll also notice that the aide is sitting behind a barrier, a plastic barrier that protects the aide and protects the children. And then on the right-hand side, you'll notice that a child has come out of the bathroom and is using a hand sanitizer. So I thought that picture that Bob has created and captured, really does capture what was going on when students were in the building, our 1st through 5th grade. Next slide. I think we'll pass the crickets. We'll keep on going to, I think, page 12. And on page 12, you'll see Adam Ruber, our assistant manager, holding 2 different types of filters. And this is to emphasize the transfer of moving from MERV 8 filters to MERV 13 filters. MERV 13, as Bob describes here on the left-hand side, are the main filters that are used in hospitals to remove airborne viruses. And we spent the month of November making sure that the MERV filters were being installed on a trial basis at LEMS to make sure that there was no problem with our HVAC system and the better MERV, the tighter filters that are more dense and prevent less airborne viruses from being transferred. And then for the month of December, all of those filters will be added to Center Square School. So we're moving forward in that direction. So I thought you'd like to see that. And then the page 16, slide 16, and you can see all the detail that Bob puts into his reports. But this page, and I thought, again, another behind the scenes picture of something that's captured, is this used to be our boys' shower room, and it was part of the referendum. The least, less seen part of the referendum, that everything was, the drains were cleaned down, and storage shelving units were put in there, all based on what we wrote up in the referendum. And now, actually, this looks empty now compared to the files and the old records that have been moved into here. So we're trying to centralize and organize our records due to making better use of storage area. And then this is my favorite slide because it shows these are truly our essential workers of our district, our custodial staff and our maintenance staff. So this is the type of work that they do behind the scenes while schools are remote for a good number of our students. Bob and Mike Morris and Rand and Adam all oversee the cleaning and disinfecting of the HVAC ducts through the district, a deep cleaning of it. So you can I think these pictures really show you what's been going on in our district. And I thought this would be a good opportunity to share that with you, and also share it with the community members that might be on. And then I go to the last page, and we will be celebrating and talking about our Teachers of the Year that were selected this year. This is just to show you that we try to continue celebrating as much as possible, but obviously it's all done remotely. And this was when Emily Smith was told and awarded, and it was announced that she was the Teacher of the Year for Center Square School. And then we invited all of her colleagues and peers from Center Square School to show up at this Google Meet, and you can see where she's highlighted there, and the joy that the other staff members have for the fact that Emily was chosen as Teacher of the Year. So that's the MJR for Bob for November. You will learn as much, and you can pull that down now, Sarah. You will learn as much from if you look and spend some time in the September and October, but I really wanted to draw your attention to it. And especially at this time, when lots of things are going on behind the scenes, I thought it was a good opportunity to share that with you. Any comments on any of that?
No, that was nice to see. Congratulations to Mrs. Smith.
Yeah. Thank you. Thanks, Kim. I thought you'd appreciate it. I thought the board members would appreciate seeing the behind the scenes work. We talk about it, but when you get to see the pictures, and Bob does such a good job of documenting this work. So I thought it was worthy of sharing. And then the other graphic that I want to show you are the COVID data that just came in. This is for December 9th to December 15th. So it was through yesterday. And this COVID data is not given to us in this manner. Instead, this is it's sent just by each individual county resident who has been diagnosed with being COVID positive is identified by the town in which they live, by their age group, and by their gender. And so what I've been doing, what I've been asking my staff, and Lisa loves me for this, but she takes this each week, and we were doing it every 2 weeks. But then when the numbers got so great, it was getting too much to do it every 2 weeks because the numbers were just so tremendous. So now we do it every week. And you've seen this before, but these are the most recent bar graphs that are ready to be shared with you. In regards to the age groups of, so you can see I'm pretty sure that says the 30 to 49 age group is the highest. It has the age group which has the greatest amount of COVID diagnosed cases in Gloucester County. This is just for Gloucester County, and that's been pretty much ongoing for the past couple months now. I think you might remember, the board members might remember that back in right after Labor Day, the greatest age group was the 18 to 22 age group, but that has gone back down, subsided, and it's been pretty consistent that the 30 to 49 year age group is the one that has the highest, with followed immediately by the next age group, which is 50. Does that say to 64? Correct me if I'm wrong, because those numbers are little for me as I'm watching, small for me as I'm looking at on the screen. So that gives you the picture for the entire county. And then, as you know, if you've been looking at these when I send them home to you, the next slide. We slid down too fast. That's all right. No. Okay, because it breaks it down by towns of where each of our towns are. And so you can see the towns that have the greatest number of COVID cases and the towns that have a smaller number of COVID cases. But this is just for the past 7 days, from the 9th to the 15th. The next slide. And then what we do is that we, as we know, and I've said this a couple times in correspondence that I've shared with community and parents, is that we all shop at the same Acme. So it's important to not only know what's happening in Logan, but what's happening in the sending districts that surround us and the districts that go to send our children to Kingsway, because in Kingsway, a lot of our families connect there. So you can see that Logan, for the past week, had 14 identified cases. And South Harrison had 7. So we're pretty much, what is that? Swedesboro had 12. So you can see that we're pretty low, but 14 cases are 14 cases. And then what we do, this is how we analyze data, saying where we are at in the district, in the community, in Logan community. You can see this is just for Logan. So each one of those bars that you are listed, there is one person in each of those ages. So you can see they're in teenage years and above. And then there were two people who were identified in, somebody help me with that number.
40.
Thank you, 40 in the 40 age group. But every other age group, there was only one identified in the past week. And then the next page, what we do is then we break it down from in each of the age groups of students that would be going to in our school. So the 0 to 4, to 5 to 9, the 10 to 13, and then the high school. So you can see that we had no students, am I right? Yeah,
right.
No students in 0 to 4, no in Logan. So we identify which towns they're from. In 5 to 9, no students this past week. 10 to 13 age group, no students in Logan Township. And 14 to 17, I do believe we had 1. Am I correct?
Yes,
Yeah.
right here.
Right. And I think that was a 16-year-old. So it gives that's a tight, I know the board has seen this before, but I wanted to share it because it's fresh off the press. We just finished it. Lisa and Rachel just finished collecting the data and then making it to a bar graph. So I thought we'd share it publicly. And that way you're not waiting until the weekend to see it. And then the final thing on the work session for tonight is the letter that we received from Kingsway saying that we are still a receiving district, and because we have enough students sending to Kingsway that we would have a board member eligible to have a board member sit on Kingsway's board. Sarah, do you mind reading that?
Dear Mr. Donnelly, pursuant to NJSA 18A 38.8.1, the Department of Education has verified the appropriate representation of sending district Board of Education members on the receiving Board of Education. The Logan Township School District sends 194 students to the Kingsway Regional School District for grades 9 through 12. This represents 13.22% of the 1,467 Kingsway Regional School District students attending those grades. Based on these data, the percentage of pupils attending Kingsway Regional School District is at least 10%. Therefore, Logan Township School District is entitled to 1 representative. Since the timeline for designating the sending Board of Education representative to the receiving district is limited, the Board of Education must be prepared to designate your representative at your board meeting, which is closest in time to the annual organizational meeting of the Kingsway Regional School District.
Okay, so this just reminds the board that at the reorganization meeting, we will be asking for we're asking the board to make the decision who would be our representative on the Kingsway board. And everybody knows that Frank has been that representative for many years. Okay, that is what is on our agenda for the work session. I would open it up to the board if they have any other questions that they want addressed before I would also hand it over to Frank. Frank?
Pat, I have a question. This is Kim.
Yes.
Sorry if I missed this in the data, but with going back to the COVID data, I know you showed from December 9th to yesterday, but did you also show a graph that is cumulative, or do you have the numbers? Because I'm just wondering, is 14 an increase or a decrease?
Decrease. It happens to be. I'm almost positive, and I would look at. I can look in the weekend memo because each week I send it to you. But what we could do, Kim, for that is we could almost do a summative report. It wouldn't be in a bar graph, but I could do what it's been in previous weeks. But I'm going to quickly open up what it was last week. So you want cumulative for Logan, right?
Yeah, because I'm just thinking that we established that this remote period for grades 1 through 8 was going to be until January 15th. And so I think one of the things that we said when we determined that was that we were going to continue to look at the numbers. And so I think in order for us to make a decision in 2021, other than the state, that we should be looking at what's happening in our area, and that would be cumulative data.
Right, and we definitely do. Every week I look at this, I share it with you, and that's one of the ways that we determine whether or not the numbers are going up or down. But I also know that because we kept on waiting for I'm trying to get into the last week so I can get that for you, that data. Lisa, if you're there, if you have access, I'm trying to find, I have the week from November 18th to 24th, but I don't have from November 25th to December 4th. That's what I'm trying to access right now.
Never mind that. I'm on the board website, so I see the activity level report. Would that have the detail or no?
No, I'm looking for the same bar graph from last week, but I just can't. For some reason, I can't pull it up on the weekend. It was sent in the weekend memo, but for some reason I can't pull it up. It is not allowing me to have access to it. Give me a sec and I will do it. Frank, do you want to, or anybody else want to, while I'm looking for it? But I agree with you. I will let you know, this is this week. This was just today. And we will be updating you through the holiday to see if they go up or down, those numbers.
Okay.
Stick with me for a second and I might be able to give you, I just found 1 week and I know this week, so I'm going to try to see if I can find that one missing week, and then you can look, and I just don't know it off the top of my head.
Okay. And so just to make sure that my request is clear, so I would like to see a cumulative number, but I would also like to see cumulative for the age groups that you've been providing us. Mm-hmm. Because I know there was also some comment about maybe flipping and allowing the middle school students who have never had an opportunity to be in the building to come back, if you were to do a stage, to come back first. So I would be interested in seeing not just everyone in Logan cumulative, but also cumulative by age group as well, to see if there's any trend there.
I would show you the same breakdown that I did for each week, but by age group. Lisa, okay. I see that you're in it. And so am I seeing 34? Is that what number I'm seeing, or 14? 14. 1 second. Yeah, 14. So it looks like it is steady, that it was just overall for the Logan numbers. And then I can get you that information. I'll put it in the weekend memo. So I appreciate the fact that you're asking me, and I shared this tonight so that you can tell me what more information you want. But for the week of November 18th to 24th, there were 12 Logan community members. And then from the week of November 25th to December 4th was 14. And then this past week, it was still 14.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Raw data, and then I'll get you the age groups. Okay?
Okay. Thanks.
Frank,
Do we have any other comments, discussions about the work session items?
No.
Okay, it's 7:32. We're not scheduled to start the regular meeting until 8 o'clock. So I guess we have to end this session and then come back on at 8 o'clock.
Rob, can you give us guidance?
Yeah, it's just going to take me a little bit of time to get all that worked out if we're going to end this one. So we can do that. I'm going to post a new link on our homepage for anybody that might be listening. You're going to have to refresh the page and probably give me about 15, 20 minutes to get it done.
Rob, would it be better? Is there a better way than ending this? Just stopping, pulling away, and then coming back?
The only other thing we could do is just not, we could all just mute ourselves and walk away for, half an hour. That's
Okay.
the only other thing we could do.
Yeah, that makes,
Yeah, let's do it that way then. We'll just, everybody mute your systems and then we'll come back just before 8 o'clock.
Okay, so we're going to continue to stream this stream, right?
Yes.
Okay.
That sounds good. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, see everybody in a half an hour or so.
Sounds good.
Okay. Thanks.
Catherine, close your video off your.
Okay, it's 8 o'clock. Is everybody back?
Yes.
All right. Rob, we all set to go?
We're still going. Yep.
All right. Sarah, you put the agenda up?
Yep. There you go, Frank. Sorry about that.
All right, thanks, Sarah. All right, call the meeting to order. Adequate notice having been provided by the posting of notices with the Township Clerk, South Jersey Times, and all board members having been notified. A regular meeting is being held virtually, and the directions for are on the website how to sign into the meeting. The presiding officer may waive the rules when necessary to maintain an orderly operating of the board meeting. And since it's a remote board meeting, I've decided to have only one public participation, and you can pose any question whether it's listed on the agenda or not. All right, moved on, roll call.
Mr. Donnelly,
Here.
Mrs. Kegler,
Here.
Dr. Bowen.
Here.
Mrs. Hill,
Here.
Mrs. Lombardo,
Here.
Mrs. Mason,
Here.
Mrs. Reed,
Here.
Mrs. Roan,
Here.
Mr. Russell. I do not believe Mr. Russell has logged in.
All right, thanks, Sarah. Pat, any presentations?
No presentations this evening, Frank.
All right, correspondence?
Correspondence, I'm going to ask Sarah to read the letter that we received today, regretfully, from Board President Frank Donnelly. Sarah, would you please read it?
Dear Superintendent Haney and members of the Logan Board of Education, I am announcing my intent to retire from the Board of Education effective December 31st, 2020. It has been an honor to have served this community for over 35 years. I wish all of you the best in the future. Sincerely, Francis Donnelly.
And I meant every word of it.
Frank, it is with great regret that we are losing you as board president. But the work that you've done, go ahead.
No, it's just, it's time. It's time to turn it over to new leadership. And I've enjoyed my 35 plus years on the board, and I've enjoyed making a lot of new friends. Moving on, Pat, Italian grant.
Okay, Italian grant. Sarah, would you please display the letter that we received from the Society of Philadelphia, the American Italian Society of Philadelphia, which shows that we were granted $20,000, which is more than double what we've received in the grant before. So we are just recognizing the fact that the American Italy Society of Philadelphia is working very, very closely with us to try to provide us with additional funds, especially in light of the fact that we are in a position to, again, continue to receive less state aid. And we expressed that. Cinzia and I, Mrs. Neary and I, the Italian teacher, went and visited the Italian Society back in March to plead with them our case, our financial situation. And we are grateful that they responded this way.
Yeah, Pat, do you remember how long we've been getting this grant?
It has been, I know it's been I think as long as I've been in the district, which
I was thinking so it's probably been 10 or 11 years.
Yep.
We've been
Mhm.
getting-
A good 10 to 11 years.
Yeah.
I do remember the first year that I was superintendent, we were debating about reducing the world language because of another state aid situation at that time.
Right.
And if you remember, the Italian population came out, and that's when we developed this relationship with the American Italian Society.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's a good grant, and it's really helpful to the district.
Very, very helpful to the district. So do you want to bring back the agenda, Sarah? Thank you. Okay. Do you want me to go on with the administrator's report?
Yes, Pitt.
So you will see that we did not have our fire drills and our our security drills in the month of November. We did have our pre-K and K students in from November 1st through, I think, the 14th. And we had first and second grade come in for 4 days. And then we had third to fifth come in for 2 days. But our scheduled security drills and fire drills were later on in that month. So that is why we did not have any drills. We should be having drills when students are in district and in the building. So I've spoken with the administrators, and we're making sure that we schedule our drills earlier in the month, just in case that occurs again. We hope it will not. The enrollment is listed. If you want to slide down, Sarah, that's listed to say presently where we're at. We're kind of holding steady at 839 students in our pre-K through 8th grades. Again, we're thrilled to report we had no suspensions this month. So we can slide down there, and then I hand it over to you, Frank.
Mr. Donnelly, you might be muted.
I had my mic. I'm sorry. Is that Kingsway number correct, Pat? 293? Because the letter from Kingsway says it's only 193 students.
Yeah, that's interesting. I will check that, and we'll let you know. I apologize if it was an error.
It's okay. All right, we'll move on. Finance report. The finance, we met last night, and we're recommending that the board adopt the financial reports as listed and the bill list. Any board discussion on any of the agenda items? If you had, Pat had the weekend memo out. I think that was self-explanatory for most of the items.
Is now the time to talk about correspondence, or will that be under the open session?
But
Kristen, we're going to move. I think what you want to talk about is in the new business, if at all possible.
Okay, sure.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
We want to get through the business part first.
Hearing no board discussion, let's move on to public participation. We'll open up the meeting to the public for any items that I'd like to bring to the board's attention.
At this time, there are no questions submitted.
All right, thank you, Sarah. And moving on, I guess we'll just vote on things. How about, we'll need a motion to accept the minutes as listed, the financial reports, all of the agenda items, and the bill list.
So moved.
And second,
Second.
and roll call.
Mr. Donnelly,
Yes.
Mrs. Kegler,
Yes.
Dr. Bowen,
Yes.
Mrs. Hill,
Yes.
Mrs. Lombardo,
Yes.
Mrs. Mason,
Yes.
Mrs. Reed,
Yes.
Mrs. Roan,
Yes.
Mr. Russell, I believe, is still absent.
Okay. Thank you. Gloucester County School Boards, they had a meeting last week. I didn't attend. Carolyn, did you go? Or did you attend virtually?
No, I didn't actually. I didn't go. No, I didn't.
Okay. Anything on the New Jersey School Board Association?
For me, no, we only had the legislative committee meeting, and I'm sorry to say I didn't attend that either, but I do have some information, maybe a paragraph or so that I think that might be of interest to everyone. And
Okay.
I'll send, okay?
Yep. Kristen, anything on home and school?
Yes, I heard from Katie earlier today. She wanted to thank everybody who purchased the Spiritware. And due to our support, they were able to raise $760.80 for the district for home and school. The next fundraiser is going to be the book fair, which is going to take place January 25th through February 7th. It's going to be all virtual this year, so be on the lookout for an email from Home and School within the next month with further details. There'll also be an annual membership drive in January. They appreciate our continued support, and they are hoping that we all have a wonderful holiday.
All right. Thanks, Kristen.
And
Kingsway's meeting is tomorrow night. I looked at the agenda briefly. There's nothing on there that's earth-shattering, but if there is, I'll just let you know. Like last month, I'll send you an email on what happened. Any new business?
yes, there is new business. So Frank, you provided us with that letter tonight that I knew was eventually going to be coming, but I am going to take the opportunity under the new business to just reflect for a few moments on having you as our board president. I know how fortunate I have been that I've had you, Frank, as my only board president in my 12-year tenure as superintendent. You have guided me from my first days of being a rookie superintendent, slowly growing your confidence in me as we work side by side, making decisions, always for the betterment of the Logan community of students and staff. My memories of our work together are many. Throughout our time together, we always worked as a team, discussing and sharing thoughts, ideas, and philosophy before we proposed and voted on major initiatives for the district. I know at the beginning, I was different from previous superintendents. The fact that I am a woman is just one difference that was quite notable from the start. But your confidence in me grew, and my dependence on your steadfastness and focus of purpose became a combination that couldn't be beat. I will always be proud of the work we accomplished together over the past 12 years, through some positive days and some troubling days. I love working with you and getting to know you, your family, getting to know your family and your values that guided us every step of the way. Thank you for being you. I was so lucky to have been part of this great team. Logan was so lucky to have you over 35 years as a board member. Your family is so fortunate to call you husband, dad, granddad, and great-granddad. I know our relationship will continue throughout the upcoming years. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Well, thank you, Petra. That was really very touching. I can remember after we hired you and you and I sat down, and I said to you, you probably have either a real folder or an imaginary folder that says what I would do as superintendent. And I told you to go to it. I didn't mean that literally, though. But yeah, I think we've taken this district really far over the past 12 years, and I'm proud of my service to the district, and I'm proud of how the legacy I've left for at Logan Township School District. So thank you all very much, and I'll miss you all. But and Alexis, I'm sorry we never got to meet face to face.
Well, I appreciate getting to meet you, and thank you for all your years of service. It's really wonderful that you've been able to do so much for the school district.
Thank you all.
Frank, this is Kelly. I just want to say thank you. You've developed some roots here, your family, your kids and your grandkids. We appreciate your wisdom being on different boards in the township, and just your insight, your longevity is very valuable. So I'm happy for you, though. I know that you want to stay busy with other things, and thankfully you're not too far away. But no, in all sincerity, I appreciate your commitment to the township, the community, and most importantly, the kids.
Thank you very much, Cal.
Luck to you. Thank you.
Frank, this is Kristen, and I just want to thank you for your service to our district and our community. You've been a wonderful leader for years, and we're truly going to miss your expertise on our board. I appreciate the time you've given us that took away from your family. You'll definitely be missed, and I thank you. I was just telling my husband that I was in 4th grade when you got on the board. So, and that's not an age thing. It's just showing we've been so lucky to have you because you've helped with zoning information, with Kingsway, with so many different things. And you've bridged so many gaps for us with our municipality. And there's just so much work that you've done to get us going in our district. And I truly appreciate it. And you're definitely going to be missed.
Thanks, Kristen. One of us got really old.
Me, I know.
Hey, Frank, it's Kim. So, I am the newest, well, actually Alexis is, but before Alexis was the newest, person on the block. And from the moment that we sat in the boardroom, which seems like eons ago, and, we went through that book and I asked questions and, you have always been patient with me. You've educated me. You've allowed me to, challenge some things, even though I may have been wrongly challenging it, but you still allowed me the opportunity to do that and to listen to me. So I appreciate that. We have, had the opportunity to serve on the contract negotiations team. We've had the opportunity to talk about different things, and I really appreciate that. I'm in awe of your knowledge of school boards and the school board association. And, it's a little frightening to think, who will fill your shoes. It will be done, but it will be a tall order. But I'm grateful that you have the opportunity to still smell the flowers and to do other things. And, so thank you very much for your time, for your service, for your patience, and just for allowing a new person to find a niche within a board that has had a lot of longstanding people, but still find their way. So thank you very much, and I'll miss you.
Thanks, Kim. I'll miss all of you.
Frank, I've already said and told you how I feel about it. You know where I stand. And I really will miss you. Of course, I'm not going to let you go, but so far. But I think the general consensus, as you probably know, is that we all just appreciate you and realize what we had in terms of a board president. So I salute you. You've taught me a lot, and I came in with guns loaded, and you were patient and open-minded. I really appreciated that, and when you were willing to listen to another side, and that just was awesome. So I appreciate you. That's
Thanks,
it for
Carol.
me.
Thanks, Carolyn. And I appreciate what you've done, the direction you've led the board in getting to the equity side of education. So thank you very much.
Frank, this is Lene. I just want to say thank you for your service and dedication to the board and to the children of the Logan Township School District. I definitely appreciated your wisdom and your leadership, and you will definitely be missed.
Thanks, Lene.
Frank, this is Rob. I just wanted to say I've not known this board without you, and I will miss you. And the relationship that I've had with you outside of just board meetings was, I always look forward to seeing you in the school, and I'll definitely miss seeing you around there. And I just wanted to thank you for the amount of support that you've given the IT department over the years. We greatly appreciate it. You'll be missed.
Well, yeah, Rob, thank you for what you and Vinny and Jake have done over the past 9 months. It's really been amazing that you've kept the system up and running. So thank you for what you've done.
Yeah, great job, Rob and company.
Hi, Mr. Donnelly. It's Heather Moran. I just wanted to say that you can judge a man by his character and his family, and you have both in spades. You were on the board that hired me, and I appreciate that very much. Logan Township is lucky to be the beneficiary of all your selflessness, and we appreciate all your time that you've dedicated to us.
Thank you, Heather. I appreciate it.
Mr. Donnelly, this is Bev. You are truly a pillar in the community. And as the board president, you've been instrumental in making decisions that are always in the best interest for all students. You supported the expansion of our pre-K program, which allows us to have over 135 seats available now for our youngest learners. You are supportive of our arts programs, and you've attended every holiday concert at CSS. Please know that there will always be a seat for you at our concerts in the future, right in the front row. Thank you for your leadership, your dedication, your intuitiveness, your kindness, and your vision. You will surely be missed.
Thank you, Bev. I'll be there in the front row. I'll be looking forward to the concerts.
I want to second that, Frank. This is Brian. Your dedication to the arts in Logan is a lasting impact I think we'll feel for many, many, many years. It's hugely appreciated.
Thanks, Brian.
Frank, this is Sarah. I'll go next. I haven't been here very long, but one of the first things that I learned when I got here was that you were very highly respected in the community and the school district. Your years of service are rarely ever matched in your role as board president. That's a very hard seat to fill. And even though being new to Logan, I'm also very new as a BA, and I appreciate you taking a leap of faith and hiring me and bringing me into the Logan community as well. And you've been so patient, and your calmness in meetings and in discussions of very tough topics are always valuable. And you're a great board president and just an overall person. And I hope that I'm lucky enough to continue to work with board presidents in the remainder of my career to your caliber.
Thanks, Sarah. Appreciate that.
Hi, Frank. It's Catherine Kelly. I just also want to say thank you for your years of service to our district, and our community has been so very fortunate to have you as the board president and steadfast leader for the last 35 years. Your support and leadership is amazing, and our students and community are so very lucky. So just thank you for all that you've done.
Thanks, Catherine. Appreciate it.
Hi, Mr. Donnelly. It's Christy Jansen. Again, just reiterating what everybody else said. Thank you so much for all of your support. Thank you so much for listening to our presentations at board meetings and questioning and being supportive of us and helping us to, see our vision through. I know some of your family members, and they speak so highly of you, and I know why. So thank you for all of your service, and especially for the support that you provided to the children in our district.
Thanks, Christy.
Mm-hmm.
Laura, just wow. So many things have been said about you. I just want to say that I know that we haven't had a lot of direct interaction, but my experience with you as the board president, from what I observed, has been just somebody that I've noticed that you've been just very patient and fair, and just taking the time that's needed to understand the behind the scenes of what goes on in the school. So I just want to thank you for all of that. You've actually been an inspiration. I feel like maybe one day when I'm retired, I would like to possibly be on a board of education myself. And I think that's probably due to what I've experienced with you. So thank you so much, and good luck with everything.
Thanks, Laura. Thank you. Thanks to all of you. All the words of praise were very, they're touching, and I'm glad it's not in person.
Frank, Rob recorded this, so we will be able to pass that on to you.
Okay, thanks.
And so that you can listen to it again when you miss us.
Oh, every Wednesday, every third Wednesday of the month.
Maybe for the first month.
And Lisa made this picture slide that is up right now. I think it's a nice capture of you.
Yes.
I'm thrilled that
Is it pouring out?
I'm thrilled that one picture is in front of our mission statement. And I love the picture on the bottom with you and Carolyn. Carolyn, you see that one? When you read
my bosom buddy, vice president.
Yes, I love that. And I love the fact that your son, Sean, is in one of the pictures. So it's a good choice that Lisa did.
Yeah.
I guess it's the dishwasher.
Kristen.
You're not on mute, Kristen.
Sorry, I am now.
Okay.
Better get a new dishwasher there, provided we can hear it, Kristen.
I thought it was raining really hard because I have headphones on, and then I realized it was just my dishwasher. Sorry.
That is so funny. Okay, Frank, we go back to the agenda, I think,
Go back to the agenda, which would be old business.
right?
And if there's no old business,
No, not that I know of.
all right, then we need a motion to adjourn so Elvis can leave the building.
So moved.
And a second.
Sadly,
Second.
second.
All right, all those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
And
Aye.
good night, and
Bye,
and
everyone.
hopefully-
Merry Christmas.
Hopefully 2021, we'll be able to get together again, and I can thank you all in person.
Have
That
a
would
nice
be really-
holiday.
Happy holidays.
Happy
holidays,
holidays, everyone.
Yes.
Yes,
Good
good night.
night.
everyone.
Night.
Good night.
Happy holiday.